back to another What If. What if Deku was All Might's son? Part 1. So let's begin our What If. First off with the back is that I want to give all the support and all the credit to the people who created this What If and all the others. I have been seeing all your ideas and it's been wonderful. Now this is my own turn. Hope I don't get copyright striked or anything. And yeah, so let's begin the What If. So we start off with Izuku Midoriya, born as a baby on his birthday. You're probably wondering, who's his parents? His dad, All Might, the #1 hero, and his mom, Midnight, the second best hero so far in the timeline, because Endeavor hasn't announced himself yet. Now, they're basically, Deku is now the most richest kid / the most famous kid in the whole world. And he's completely rich, like he's a billionaire. And yeah. And Deku, he grows up and he wants to be a hero just like his dad. And then when Deku's 10 years old, he's about to go to sleep until he hears a loud kaboom. And it's a house on fire. Deku, not knowing what to do, but just goes without reacting. And he bursts through the door and he's like, "Anybody in there, please, let me help you." And they're like, I'm stuck on this wooden plank." And oh my, he's sleeping until he hears it. Hears like another boom from a house, and he's like, "Whoa, what is that?" He looks in the window and he sees his son saving around 6 people, and he's like, "That's my boy. That's my son." Then he realized, oh, he's a poor hero. He needs to go. He busts up and he zooms to Deku and to Deku's help. Then he takes every person out of the whole building. Then the whole building explodes. And the family is crying. Then the whole ambulance comes. All Might puts Deku to his house, to their mansion. And they start talking, and Deku's like, "I'm sorry, Dad. I obeyed the law of being a vigilante, but I had to do it. You're my dad, and I always wanted to become a hero since I was young. And you haven't told me about your quirk, but I thought I was gonna unlock it now. Well, all the kids at school are still bullying me, but still, Dad, I didn't unlock any quirk. But I know someday I will become a hero, just like you, with a quirk, a powerful one." And All Might's like, "Yes, kid. But what I saw today was remarkable. Young man, so can you become a hero. I'll train you for 5 years. And after that, you'll be ready. Ready to be the new face of #1. When I retire, you will be #1. Do you hear me, son?" Deku crying like, "Dad, thank you. It'll be an honor to continue your legacy." And All Might's like, "Yes, son. But as we do that, you need training. And your training starts tomorrow. So get ready. Go to sleep. And today, you will become a hero." Deku goes straight to bed. All Might goes straight to bed. And it's now the next day. And Deku, he's pumped up. He did some stretches. And now they're going to Dagobah Beach. And they start training for 5 years. And all I have to say, Deku becomes basically the buff adult Deku. Type up adult Deku. Yeah, the buffed one. Yeah, that's how big Deku is. He's basically the size of All Might now. Like if I say Muriel, he's not the size of Muriel, but just a larger bit buffer. And Deku, he does this for 5 years. So you know how intense All Might is already with that 9 months training. But imagine it's 10, yeah. And we follow from Deku finishing his training for the first time in his life. And he's like, wow, it's the last day of training. I'm gonna miss training with my dad. And let me say that, yes, the fight happened with All Might and All For One. And yeah. Then Deku, he starts walking until he sees his dad. And he's like, you've completed your training, as I see. I feel like you deserve this. Takes a bit of his hair and blood and he gives it to Deku. And he says, eat this. This is all my power. And you can become number 1. Deku's like, Dad, it'll be an honor. Thank you. Deku's like, but why do I need to eat your DNA? Isn't that kind of a bit disgusting? Or am I your DNA as I'm your son? And Almost like, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe you will unlock it. Probably a late quirk. I was once quirkless too, you know. But my master gave it. But you probably got it in your DNA. So you can use One For All already. But it just needs to awaken. Somebody in your life needs to die or something. Go in terror or something. And you need to help them. Maybe that will unlock your power. Then we skip a couple weeks later. And All Might gets captured by this villain. Deku gets a call by the villain. And Deku's like, wait, you got my dad? Leave him alone. And Deku, he finds the coordinates and he goes there by himself. And he opens the door and he's like, hello? Father? Are you there? And All Might is there, dead. And we see this villain. And he's got a bloody knife. And he's like, huh, you're too late. And Deku's like, you killed my father! 1,000,000,000%! 1 for all! Plus Ultra! He punches with the most insane, kind of like, I say, One Punch Man punch. Full death. But All Might blocks it. And he's like, haha, you've unlocked a quirk, as you can see. Deku's like, Dad? You're alive! And he hugs him. And Deku's like, I was worried. I was scared. I guess I awakened my quirk. Dad, I'm gonna become a hero. Thank you. And almost like, cool. Now you can become my sidekick for a couple of years until I die and you taking the mantle. Deku's like, sidekick? Then what suit would I wear? You wear kind of like this one or green suit I created for you. And Deku says, I would rather take your suit, kind of a replica. And Mike's like, yeah, good choice, kid. Good choice. And we see, you're probably wondering, who's the guy with the knife? The guy from the knife was Aizawa, and he's Deku's uncle. And Deku's like, wait a minute, is that Aizawa? Hey, Uncle Aizawa, that was cool roleplay. And Aizawa's like, where's the money? I'm kind of tired. And All Might's like, ha 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 ha. Don't be tired. Just say it was nice. It was good roleplay. And Isaiah was like, it was good roleplay. Now goodbye. And Deku's like, wow, he's so cool. And then now it's a couple months later. Deku's still doing training for UA. And he does unlock Black Whip and Float. That's the only two he's unlocked from the hidden quirks. Remember, he trained for 5 years, so obviously he's gonna get those quirks more later. Now, it's the first day of UA. Deku, no, not first day, the entrance exam. Deku, he wears his father's suit. His father's hero costume. His prime hero costume from the movie. And he flies to school and he lands there, superhero lands, and everybody thinks that Deku is All Might, and they're like, oh my, oh my, oh my, and they don't realize it's Deku because they look so alike. Yes, Deku does not have green hair. He has the goldish hair, what his father has. And yeah, and he's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now everybody, enjoy your day at UA. And All Might, he's looking at Deku, he's like, ha 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 ha, he's pretending like me. And everybody's like, okay. Midnight is like, ha, that's funny. And Deku walks in, everybody taking autographs of Deku until Bakugo realizes, wait a minute, is that the famous kid? That's not All Might, that's All Might's son. And the girls are like, oh my gosh, it's All Might's son. And then they start taking more pictures. And then Bakugo's like, what the? I'm meant to get fame. He's not #1 hero, I am. And Bakugo's like, guess it's one of those famous people. Deku walks in and takes the exam. And he got completely A's because, remember, his mom is a maths teacher and all that. So, yeah. Deku, he gets around, if I say, he was #4 of the best at the exam. And then it's now the physical. People walk in and they all looking at Deku like he's totally gonna win. And Deku, he starts stretching. Until President Mike says, go! And Deku, he super speed jumps in the air, starts flying, punching, doing Detroit smashes at each robot he sees. He starts spinning around using full cowling, and he starts wall jumping on walls and using his Black Whip as webs like Spider-Man, like Aizawa. And he starts doing what he did with Bakugo, those spins and putting the electricity and exploding things around. And yeah, Deku is easily winning this. Everybody's like, wow, he really is gonna be #1 hero. And we were like, how is that impossible? He's got multiple quirks. Deku is like, United States of Smash! He does it at the 0-pointer robot and explodes it, making the whole robot into lava. Oh my, it's like, OMG, I've never seen me do it. That is my boy. And he starts clapping and he says, hey, this kid is definitely going to Class 1A. And everybody's like, okay, we understand that. It's your son. And Midnight is also saying, yes, he's definitely going UA. And everybody's like, yeah, he's definitely like All Might. Deku's like, do you need any help, girl? and he takes off all the rubble off Uraka and super speeds her to Recovery Girl and starts taking even more robots until it's the end, and Deku, he gets the most points out of everybody in history. More points than his own father. All Might proud starts clapping like, I trained that kid for 5 years and he done this. It's remarkable. And Deku's like, yes, I'm gonna definitely become #1 hero. And I idolize to be my father. And yeah, Deku leaves with his dad. And then 2 days later, his dad busted through his room whilst Deku is just playing some video games with his friends. And All Might's like, young man, you are going to go to UA. And Deku's like, no way! I already knew, Dad. It's kind of obvious. The hero course was too easy. And I was kind of bored. And All Might's like, oh, but still, gonna be a hero, officially. Deku's like, yeah, I got no choice, right? And All Might's like, yeah, got no choice. But still, are you proud? Deku's like, yeah. Now, can you leave? And All Might says, sure. And this thing what Deku has in his head, like, he honestly doesn't like his father in some ways. He's just too happy, too pride, too, like, over-exaggerating. But when he's in the skinny form, he's just some down-in-the-dumps dude. And Deku, he does want to become a hero just like his dad. Be the symbol of peace. But being as a character, no, he doesn't want to be like that. And then, it's now 2 days later. And Deku is now going UA. This is where we're gonna stop over here. So, hope you guys like and subscribe. And see you guys in the next What If.